Yeah, so I grew up in Canada. I went to school here. I did engineering for my university degree. I launched a couple businesses myself over the years. One was a travel business for largely student travel, and then also a food delivery service. And then I spent most of my career in the food industry. So there's a Canadian company called McCain Foods. They make French fries and pizza and appetizers, things like that. So I worked in a whole bunch of different, I got the opportunity to work in a whole bunch of different departments there. So engineering and operations, and then I moved into sales. And then I moved into marketing with another big food company that makes one of the largest producers of cereal in the world. So I've had the opportunity to work in big companies, really in almost every department except maybe for finance, and then my own little businesses, and and that kind of I did that, and then that took me to Solar Panda, and I live in Canada. I've got my very supportive and lovely wife and three little kids, big into sports, running. Yeah, so that's my background and life kind of before Solar Panda. So Solar Panda started, it started in about 2016, but started selling in 2017. It was actually founded by a man named Andy Keith. So he was also engineering at the same school as me. We've actually known each other since we were like 3 years old, but fell out of touch for a very long time. But he, head of engineering, started off in the solar business in Canada, on kind of large scale solar projects, and then sold his companies that he had built there when he was young, and was at a conference actually in the United States and came across the company Mcopa, and really liked what they were doing. He had experience volunteering in Africa, and saw what Mcopa was doing of bringing small scale solar to homes, and really liked what the opportunity was there. So originally looked into investing in Mcopa, and they weren't interested. So he decided, I can do this better. And so it was the origin of Solar Panda. So spent about a year and a half developing the hardware and the software to work in the background, and then launched the company in December of 2017 in Kenya. And then I joined about 8 or 9 months after that, to kind of help him grow this. And so we've been working together on this ever since. So that's really where Solar Panda came from. So Solar Panda sells different sizes of solar home systems. So it starts at a starter kit where a family can get a 10-watt solar panel that they put on the roof that connects to a battery pack, the control unit that really is the brains of the system. And then with the starter kit, they get 2 bulbs and a phone charging cable. And so for these homes, they're largely replacing the need for kerosene, which as we all know, it's inefficient, dangerous, unhealthy. So this gives them access to reliable, clean, and very affordable energy. And it's on a pay-as-you-go model. So they pay a deposit on the day that they buy it, and then pay for each day that they want to use it. So they will, through mobile money, make a payment to Solar Panda for the starter kit. It's 30 shillings, Kenyan shillings, a day, and then the unit works for that day. And if they pay every day, then they will pay off their loan over about a year, and then they own it for free, and they get free electricity from then on. And so that's a starter kit. So that might be a small home or a family that really only wants a couple bulbs. There's also a home kit, which is bigger panel, bigger battery, also comes then with a really good radio, a torch, a lantern, and four lights. and then they can upgrade to a TV package, and we've got a TV premium package that has more bulbs, bigger battery, bigger panel, 32-inch TV. And so it's really, we've got products to meet every need of families, whatever they could need. So that's the product that we sell. And again, it's clean access to energy, and it really makes it very affordable. I mean, the starter kit and the home kit are kind of the same cost that you would pay for phone charging and kerosene on a daily basis, but you're just getting much better quality of light and product. And so that's what we sell. And we started in December 2017, and our products are now in over 160,000 homes in Kenya.
That's amazing.
So it's been in less than 4 years, and in the middle of a pandemic. So it's really been an amazing growth story and exciting. And I love going over there and meeting people and seeing the impact that our products can have on their lives. The first time I went over to Kenya was probably about 3 months after I joined the company. So we were just a little under a year old. And I went out into a village because I wanted to see our products in action with some of these families. And I remember going into one man's home, and he had 3 little kids kind of running around, and walked in, and we had somebody from our team who was translating because he was speaking Swahili, and my Swahili is not very good yet. And he came up to me and he hugged me, and he said, "Thank you for what you're doing. I don't have to worry about my children breathing in kerosene fumes anymore." And the rest of the day, it was a super long day. I went around to our shops. I met our field agents. I visited the homes of about 10 customers. And then kind of late at night, I went back to a hotel for the night, and I called my wife back in Canada. So it was morning time for her. And I was crying on the phone. And I was just saying, I can't believe that this is what I get to do for my job is, I mean, in Canada, I've got lights on. You take it for granted that electricity is a given, and for these people, for our customers, it's life-changing. And I was crying. It's still one of the most amazing days of my life, to see that this is what I get to do every day. So you asked about the reception, and I mean, for our customers, it is life-changing. It's been amazing. And then we have almost 1,000 people, about 250 full-time employees in Kenya, and about 750 field agents out there that have good jobs, that are part of the Solar Panda team. So we really are. I mean, our mission is to improve lives, and I get to see that whenever I go, that really we are doing that. I mean, I think affordability is something we really take seriously and agonize over every day. And so, I mean, when Andy and I are looking at the product or designing the product, or how do we redesign it, we're figuring out how do we cut fractions of a penny out of this cost, because that's savings that we can pass on to a customer. So, I mean, based on a lot of studies we've seen and talking to customers, we think that the cost of kerosene plus phone charging, so buying kerosene for a day of use for a home, and then the cost, because almost all of our customers have mobile phones, without access to electricity in their house, they have to travel to a market, pay to charge it there. So those two costs combined is, we think, around 50 shillings a day. And so our starter kit is only 30 shillings a day. Our home kit, which is our biggest seller and kind of our main lighting kit, is 50 or 60 shillings a day. So it's, those two are either displacing the cost that they're paying, or actually saving them money. And then the real benefit comes once they've paid off that loan. So that might take somewhere between a year and a half, depending on how often they pay. Once they do that, it's theirs for free. So they get free electricity every day, and then their real savings start. And that can improve their lives. They can use that money for productive business uses. And then we're going to continue to have products that, okay, now I've got free electricity. Now I'd like to add on a TV so that I can get access to news and education and things like that. So we really are striving to make this affordable. Certainly, the customer's repayment is important to us. For as you mentioned, we to be sustainable, we need to be a profitable business, but we want to do that kind of in parallel with our customers so that everybody benefits. From day one, so we have 31 shops throughout Kenya, and at each shop there will be a sales manager, a shop administrator, and probably about 20 or 30 field agents that go from that shop, take the kits out, and then go into the homes. And so say they come upon you and you say, oh, that looks interesting, I'd like that. They explain everything to you. And so let's take the home kit, for example. That's what you're interested in. You would pay a deposit of 2,499 Kenyan shillings. So it's about $20 US. I'm sorry, I don't know the exchange for Nigeria, but somewhere around there. And then you pay that deposit on that date by mobile money. So M-Pesa is the system in Kenya that is most dominant. So you'd send that to us. And then immediately you get a token back to your phone. So a number that you punch into the control unit on your unit, and it turns on. And when you buy the kit, you get 7 days for free. And then once those 7 days are up, you will send another payment for your 50 shillings, and it will be activated for the next 24 hours. And you could buy for 10 days, you could buy for 1 day, you could buy for 100 days, whatever you want to do. And maybe one day you decide I don't want lights today. You don't pay, and that's fine. That just gets tagged on. So that 50 shilling a day is about a year and a half term. There's also shorter terms if you want, where you pay a little bit more per day, but you're finished quicker. So for the one that we're talking about, you pay your 50 shillings a day for about a year and a half. And assuming you pay every day at a year and a half, you're done. If you've missed a bunch of days, then it'll just keep going a little bit longer. But once you've paid off 100%, you get your final token that says, Marisha Maisha, your unit is unlocked. You can now use it for free. The lights will just stay on. And then our customer service might say, congratulations on completing your loan. If you were ever interested, we have other upgrade packages you could consider, or you could just keep your lights and you're done. But a lot of our customers will choose, okay, great, now I've got more money, I'd like to add a TV or whatever other products we're going to add on in the future. Wow. So that's kind of how the whole process works. And if you have any issues, we've got dedicated customer service. You can go to our shop. Lots of people there to help you. Yeah, it's kind of funny. So when Andy was looking at he had spent some time in Africa. He knew that Africa was the biggest opportunity. So there's almost 600 million people in Africa who don't have access to reliable electricity. There's about 1 billion people in the world, but 60% of that is in Africa. So clearly it was going to be in Africa. And he looked at where we didn't invent this industry. I mean, M-Kopa was probably the founder of this industry and a few other companies. And Kenya was the place where a lot of them started. And so when he was thinking about different countries, people told him, don't go to Kenya. There's too many people there. It's saturated. You'll never make an impact. Go somewhere else. His mindset was, I want to go where the fire is hottest and prove that we can succeed. Because if we can prove in a place like Kenya, then we know that we can do this anywhere. Versus going to a country where nobody else was, maybe we do well, but as soon as then somebody comes in, we don't know what we're doing. We don't know if we're going to be able to win. So it was I think a gutsy move. But everybody within a very short period of time said, oh, wow, we were wrong. You've done really well. And Solar Panda, despite being many years later than some of these companies, has been the fastest growing company ever in this industry to hit our kind of milestones. So that was why Kenya, and certainly our plan was never to just be one country. We do want to expand and now that we've proven we can do this, start expanding it to other countries and helping more people and bringing light to more families across Africa. The pandemic had an impact here. I think had it not been for COVID, we would already be in at least another country. That was the plan. But then when COVID hit, it just, like with so many businesses, kind of knocked us back. And we've done fine through it, but it certainly wasn't the time to start expanding into other countries. So our expansion plans are kind of two parts. One is product expansion. So we have our lights and radio and TV, but there's lots of other products that families are going to want. And so we want to keep expanding there. I think within the next 2 years, we'll be in at least 1 or 2 other countries, but I don't know yet which ones those are going to be. I think there's a number of factors we have to consider is how big is the demand. So certainly Nigeria is a country that we would look at. It's a big country. We know that some companies in this area have moved there and it's been going very well. Mobile money is a key part of our business, and that's quite prevalent in Nigeria, as it is in many other countries. We're largely coming from some of the rural areas, so it has to have a large rural population. So I think within the next year, we're going to really evaluate all the different country opportunities. And I think COVID will have an impact there too. And some countries have weathered COVID better than others. And so that would be a factor of where's the right place for us to go, which countries are going to be the most receptive, and which ones do we think we can set up operations and replicate what we've done. But long way to say, I think with the next 2 years, we'll be in at least one other country, and maybe even more. I lived my whole life in Canada, and so all my business experience was kind of Canadian and American. And it's one thing I've really realized is that, especially in North America, there's a real lack of understanding about what Africa is like. What we hear on the news is often, unfortunately, negative, and we don't talk enough about what an amazing opportunity for business and for the world Africa is. I mean, it's a massive population. It's the fastest growing region in the world. I fully believe that Africa will be the next big frontier for business in the world. It's just going to continue to grow. It's going to become a wealthier region, and businesses that want to expand would be dumb not to be looking in that area. But unfortunately, that's not the case. People kind of have often a lack of understanding or an irrational fear of moving. So I think in terms of opportunities, I mean, one big one is that I worked in food companies here, and trying to get any growth is really tough. Like, you'd be hoping you might grow 1% a year, and then in Africa, I mean, our field agents would go out and they'd come back, and we would have 200 new sales in a day, 200 families that we've signed up for electricity, without doing any marketing, just going door to door and explaining our product. So the demand was, and it continues to be, just tremendous. And that's a big opportunity. Certainly there's challenges. The geography is challenging. I mean, our field agents are the hardest working people I've ever met, through the rainy season, slugging. I remember walking around, we're walking kilometers through a field to get to one home to talk to them, traveling around on bodas, on rough roads. It's a tough land to do sales in, but it's really rewarding once you make those sales. So that's certainly a challenge. Regulatory, we were worried about kind of corruption and issues like that, but it really hasn't been an issue for us. It's been a pleasant surprise. a lot of the challenges I think that we would have faced, we've avoided because we have one expat, or one Mzungu, as they call him there. Scott is our managing director, so he came from Canada, European. Everybody else is local. All of our management team is from Kenya. Everybody that works for the company is from Kenya, and I think that's been an amazing opportunity for us to navigate challenges, whereas a lot of our competitors bring in a lot of people from North America or Europe or whatever to run the company. We haven't done that. And Andy and I are based in Canada, and so we are able to remarkably work very closely with the team remotely. And so I think, and actually, one last thing, I think our secret sauce is over 50% of our workforce and of our management team is women, which is something that we take very seriously, consciously do. And we have found, and I'm very happy to say this, I think women are much smarter than men, and much harder workers. And it has been a huge benefit for us. The smartest people in Kenya in our company are the women, and that's really helped us. It's been a busy couple of weeks so the Globe and Mail in Canada is one of the top newspapers here, and their business magazine ranked us the third fastest growing company in Canada over the last 3 years in terms of revenue. So it's been a busy couple of weeks since that got announced. We have not done a great job of getting our story out there. I think hopefully you agree, we've got a pretty good story, but we've just kind of had our head down, doing the work, building the company, not spending a lot of time telling everybody about what we're doing. And so this was the first real piece of news that we got that acknowledged the journey that we've been on and the success we've had. And it's been great to be able to talk to people about our story, and that people are now paying attention. So in Canada, I mean, there's some tremendous businesses. It's a very distinguished list. We're very proud to be on it. And it still feels a bit like a dream to think that we can have this incredible impact in the world, and at the same time do very well and be the third fastest growing company in the country. So yeah, it's been remarkable. I mean, I think social enterprise, you talked a bit about the beginning. There's always a dilemma of going a not-profit route or a profit route. We certainly believe that you can do both. You can have a very positive impact in the world, have a social cause while also still being a for-profit business. I like that approach because it means you're sustainable. You're not reliant on grants. You're not reliant on anybody else other than your own destiny. So I know that that's one thing that people debate, but if you are going down the route of being a kind of social enterprise like we are, I think the biggest thing is have a mission, believe in it, and tell everyone about it. I don't think that there's anything that we've done that is truly breakthrough. Our products, I think we've got better products than the competition, but it's not revolutionary. There are other companies that have the pay-go system. I think what we've done very well is we really believe in what we're doing, and we have a team that we carefully chose and taught what we're doing, and they all believe in it. And when you do that, you can get through things like this pandemic. You can get through the days where you don't want to work and you're tired and everything feels like it's going wrong, which in business is going to happen. But I often think about that man when I was in his home and he hugged me. And whenever I'm having a bad day, having that mission, having that understanding that I wake up this morning and there's hundreds of families that have light this morning that didn't have it yesterday because of what we're doing. And so that's, to me, that is what gets us through everything. You always have that customer at the front of your mind. And it doesn't matter what business you are. You could be a food business. You could be building stuff. You could be electricity like we are. You could, whatever your business is, if you keep that customer front of mind and are always thinking about how do you make their lives better, and make sure your team all believes in that, it's really remarkable what you can do. And I hope that, I mean, our story is pretty remarkable. I pinch myself every day that this is like how far we've come in such a short period of time. But I truly believe it's because we have a team that really believes in what we're doing, and that can get you through anything.